It is time for another Hoboken real estate market update. What's up, guys? Jeff Bonk here from the HBB Group and eXp Realty in Hoboken. And it is the end of September. We got the pumpkin behind us, summer's way behind us, and it's time to take a look at September's market update. Now, this market update is really, really important because September is the first real indicator of how the rest of the year, how the fourth quarter is going to unfold. And we had a summer with a little bit of slowness. We had a lot more buyer activity than we expected, even fewer listings than we hoped for. So what did September bring, right? What's the fourth quarter going to look like? What is the information you need to know? And what do you really need to be aware of as we roll into the fourth quarter so you can make any decisions you need to prepare either for next year or to make some real estate moves this year. So let's get started. We're going to look at 5 different things today. The first one's going to be new listings. How many new listings did we see in this past September that just ended versus last year? And we are down 25% in new listings, right? So we're right on par for where we have seen all year. We've seen anywhere between 20, 30, 40% listings drop off of how many people are willing to put their homes in the market. We know that's because of interest rates. We know that so many people have locked in 3 and 4% interest rates. So if they have to sell that and go move to another place, they have to pay 7, 7.5, 8% interest rates. So people are not really excited to do that. And we're still seeing that go into the fourth quarter here. There's a bottleneck being created for sure. There's people that really want to move and really need more space or want to downsize, need less space. They just can't justify it right now. And we're seeing that continue. We expect that to happen into the fourth quarter and into early next year as well. Number 2 is how many under contracts did we see? We saw under contracts drop by about 15%, 12.5, 15%, somewhere in that range. And what does that tell us? New listings dropped by 25%. Under contracts only dropped by 13. There were less available homes to buy for sure. That's part of the reason. But people still stood up and they wanted to buy the homes that were coming on the market, even though interest rates were high. There are these people that have to move. They really 100% need that space, or they're renting and they just don't want to pay the high rents anymore. And they're willing to pay the high interest rates, knowing they'll probably refi in a few years. So they're willing to take that risk of paying a little higher interest rate for now, paying the extra couple $100 a month, but they need the home and they're willing to roll the dice that rates will come down. So there's less people willing to sell their homes, more people still willing to buy them, creating the next thing we're going to look at, which is days on market. Days on market went down by 6 days, from 18 days to 12 days from last year's September to this one that just ended. Just reaffirming the fact that people are willing to buy way more than they're willing to sell right now. And rolling to the first few days of October here, we're not seeing anything really change on that front. The next thing we want to look at is where's pricing? Where was pricing last year versus where is pricing this year? And given what we've seen over the last 9, 10, 12 months rolling into September over September, is we see pricing up $50 a square foot, or like 8%, 7% from last year, from $850 to from where it was from $810. So we're seeing continued more demand, less days on market, less people willing to sell, people that need to buy, and it's continuing to push the market up and appreciate as well from there. So going into the fourth quarter, those are 4 of the 5 facts. We're going to add 1 at the end for the rental market, but we're expecting to see more of the same. We're expecting to see less and less people willing to sell, but people that are really needing to buy, paying prices that are a little bit higher than last year, dealing with high interest rates. Personally, we are looking to move as well, and we're doing that same thing. We're looking for homes, we need an extra bedroom, and we are willing to pay a higher interest rate now because we need the space. And I think once interest rates come down to 5, 6, anywhere in that range, we're gonna have double the amount of buyers in the market that really wanna buy. We might have some more inventory, that's the hope, so hopefully that helps a little bit with the more demand, but that's not guaranteed. So if you're looking to buy and interest rates is the main reason why, let's talk through that, talk through some strategy there. There might be some ideas that can really help you get to where you wanna go in a way that's very similar to what you like to do and the prices you wanna pay. Or you gotta kind of get comfortable, maybe do some home additions, home renovations. It's hard to do additions in condos unless you could buy your neighbor's place, but that's what the market we're seeing right now. So one silver lining that makes things a little bit easier for some people is the rental market has finally started to cool down a little bit. We saw prices from this September that just ended in 2023 versus 2022 that marginally went up. We're talking like the average price being $3,700 to $3,750. And maybe that's not marginal historically, but based on the year prior when we saw prices go from about $2,800 to $3,700 on average from September 21 to September 22, it's a humongous relief and slowdown. So we're not seeing a rental market that's correcting or overreacting or going the other way. We're not even seeing it flat. We're seeing it less steep of an incline in prices. And the bottom line is, I think we are just in a very short supply market of housing in this country right now. The builders overreacted in 2008, right, a long time ago, and they've been building less and less and less quickly and less aggressively because they're scared of getting caught holding the bag with a lot of new construction. And the population keeps growing and the household formation keeps growing. If you look at the charts, like the amount of inventory that's being built and the amount of households that are being formed are just going the wrong way, and we really need the households that are being formed to start coming up. And I don't think until we see that, we're not gonna see any kind of major changes in the market. We're gonna see anything from crazy appreciation when there's low interest rates to like flatline depreciation or maybe marginal appreciation when interest rates go up. And if there are big spikes in certain markets that saw crazy appreciation, we might see a slight calming slowdown like we were seeing in Austin, Texas, some areas of Florida, some areas of Southern California, but all those places are starting to tick back up again. So I think it really just comes back and cements the idea that there's not enough housing. People need to move, people need more space, and we just don't have enough of it. If you need it, strategize, figure out the right price point, figure out the right sector. You might need, we're advising a lot of clients like, hey, you want to live in this neighborhood, well, are you willing to live in this neighborhood with one less bedroom, or do you want to live in this other neighborhood right next door? Or do you want to stay where you are and can you get more comfortable? Those are your options, right? Because that's what we're seeing in the market. So if you have more questions, reach out. We're standing by to talk about you and your personal situation. Hope this was helpful. Hope this gave some context rolling into the rest of this year and into 2024. Have a great Halloween, carve some pumpkins, watch some football, and we'll see you guys on the next one.